Alright, so last video we added a camera. It kind of follows our character along the screen. Now the next thing we want to do is be able to record when the can goes off the edge so we could get a score for it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add in another plane, duplicate this one, and move the second one down, 25. And one of the things we noticed in the other video, now that we have a zoom in look at our player and when we're moving back and forth, it's kind of hard to see motion. Let me get a texture, wood texture, and that's seamless. I'll just pick one and save it to my assets folder of my game, and this will be wood. And then I could just go back to my Unity game, and there it is. It's really easy to assign a texture. I just could drag and drop it on there, and now I have like the image of wood on there. Modify the tiling, picking my plane, and then here at the bottom where it shows this little picture, I could expand it, and I could do some settings here. The shininess would be this metallic here, and then over here in the first tiling I could tile in the X and the Y, so maybe 3 and 3, just to see the image tiled more. When I dragged and dropped this picture onto the plane, Unity automatically made a materials folder with the material in it for me. So now the floor has a material so I could see when I'm moving back and forth on it. So now let's get to the coding part. How do we know when the can falls off the edge? We know one thing is that it will lose contact with the plane. When anything hits that, it's, out of the game. I'll make a new tag and I'll just call it trap. Bottom part here, I'm going to tag that as a trap. How do we know when the can is falling off the plane? One, it will lose contact with the plane. So let's go in the script and let's see if there's an event on the can that I could use. I see we had something commented out here for the last video. We kind of put all the collision between the player and the can. We put all that code into the player script. So let me just condense everything back to definitions only. See what we got here. We're gonna have to add another method to do something on one of those mono behavior events. Private void on collision exit. That's when you are no longer touching something. So we want to check for when we stop colliding with the plane. If collision dot game object dot compare tag to the plane equals true. The second condition that we have to check for is that we actually went below the plane, right? So we could say if this dot transform dot position dot y, but at this point here, I don't know what the plane is. Let's say what the plane is. Okay. So first it's null. When I lose contact with it, then plane equals collision dot game object. So over here, if plane is not null, and the position of the can is less than plane.transform.position.y. Now I've fallen below the plane. Now I could say this can has fallen off. Debug.log can fallen off plane. So let's see if that works. Jump on it. Now let's push it off the edge. And it's fallen off the plane. When it hits the trap, I'm going to check that also. So private void on collision enter. If collision dot game object dot compare tag to the trap, then this can, it's out of the game. So we're going to give it another mode of dead. Mode equals can mode dead. Press play, and here we go. Crush it. Hit it. It's out of the game. Oh, we should get a score. Here is where it fell off the plane. So I'll say globals.score plus 5 points for this. And then we're going to display the score. Set score text. Whoop. Whoa! And the score just keeps on adding. Probably because in the update function, this just keeps happening over and over. So we're going to have to make sure that we're not dead. Who does the dead? So maybe we could do this when it touches the floor, because then when it's dead, I don't have to check for this anymore. I could just add in another condition here. If mode not equal to dead yet, then, I can still run this test here. cut and paste. So I could either make an if and another if, or I could just add this if and if this and this and this. Why am I even checking for this? Because I guess I want to make a sound when it's falling off the table. So here I'll put a dropping noise that's going to play. All right, we're going to add some sounds to this. I'm going to get some sounds from freesound.org again. I just got two new sounds. Two new sounds are the trap and whistle. So that means on the can object, I'm going to have some sounds to play. Here, I'm going to be public struct sounds. Actually, this is private, sorry. Struct sounds, public audio source fall, public audio source private sounds variable SND. And then in the start, I'm gonna have to load all those sounds. I'll use my globals create audio source thing. So sound.fall is gonna equal globals dot create audio source, this dot game object, comma, fall. I'm gonna load the sound called fall, which is, I don't have one. It's called whistle. So the name is whistle. And then for the dead, it is going to equal globals dot create audio source object, comma, I think it's called trap. This is where I'm going to play the fall sound. If sound dot fall dot is playing equals false, play. When I hit the floor, I'll play the dead sound. Sound dot dead dot play. See you next time.